All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In this episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live, I have a special guest, someone I've been watching, and I'm happy to have him here. His name is Kenneth Bosak, and of course, I have Ozzy. He's a regular. He's a regular now. He's always going to be on here now. So, Kenneth, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your channel and what you've been doing, and just go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. First, thank you for having me on, dude. It's awesome to be here. I'm Kenn Bosak from the Bitcoin Podcast. I write their descriptions for the podcast. Um, my YouTube channel is basically I wanted to push it more towards like how to and more like tutorial. So when like an app wallet updates, I'll show you what the update is or how to use the wallet. Websites, things to do with Bitcoin like purse and shapeshift, shift payments, stuff like that, and started interviewing people, sort of like kind of like this, how we're doing, and now I'm here.
Okay. And the reason I wanted you to be on this show is because I wanted to talk about your recent video in which you did an ICO. You participated in an ICO. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, man, it was actually really interesting. It was my first ICO. I probably broke my first cardinal rule when I got into crypto. I was like, all right, I'm never going to invest in an ICO. Like, screw that. But then you look at things like Ethereum and Gnosis, or however you pronounce that, and that's like way up. And I don't know. I was like, let me just see what this is. I wanted to see what is an ICO. How do I even participate in one? So I was like, all right, let me document it for my YouTube channel. And I read their white paper, and it was like really interesting. And by the time I really got done reading their white paper, they broke $40 million. So I was like, it's a fair assumption that if I throw money at this, it's not going to, just hit the floor. And yeah, it was a really interesting experiment because I never even signed up for an ICO. So I thought it was going to be really convoluted and complex. And I'd probably have to like validate my ID or something because I'm investing in this company or whatever. So I was like, let me see how I even participate. And it was so easy. It's just email, password, send Bitcoin, done. And I was really
And
surprised.
yeah, and tell us what platform it was on, and tell us what you sent as payment for the what was it, the Go
Mobile Go tokens,
mobile
yes.
GoPro? Yeah, tell us the platforms, and tell us what you were telling us before. What different platforms that it was on?
Well, what they're doing is mobile. Actually, it's Game Credits mobile gaming platform, and they're doing the ICO for their mobile Go tokens. And it depends on what you paid. I think they accepted fiat, like US dollar, um, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Waves, ANT. I think one or two other currencies, but depending on what you invest it with, like if you used Ethereum to invest in or anything else, you would receive your mobile Go tokens either on the Ethereum network or on the Waves network if you used anything but Ethereum to invest in. And the thing that I thought was interesting about their ICO was after I invested, they still got investments, and my mobile Go tokens diminished in value or in quantity. So I had a lot at the beginning, and then as it went on, you got out of this as much as they made in total. So at the end of the ICO, that's the only time you knew how many mobile Go tokens you were going to end up with. I think at one point I had close to 300, and at the end I only ended up with like 198 or 196.
So could you tell us what does, and Ozzy, go ahead and unmute yourself anytime you want to say anything.
Okay, I
But
got you.
okay, but what is the token used for? Could you explain more what it is and the game credit platform?
Yeah, it's actually like I'm so happy you're asking because like I'm really interested in this. Like I thought that like from reading their white paper, what they have planned is really interesting. So what they're going to use mobile Go tokens for is to incentivize like loyal returning gamers to the platform. So the more you play a game and the farther you get in these games, you'll be rewarded with these mobile Go tokens that have a value set by the exchanges that you can use in the platform for buying games or buying in-game content like armor for a character or upgrades. You can say you wanted to. This is actually one of the more interesting parts of mobile Go token. Say me and you play Clash of Clans on Android or Apple or whatever. and Clash of Clans is on the game credits platform now. Well, me and you could put our Mobile Go tokens up in an escrow, and we can play each other and attack each other's clan, and whoever wins gets the pot, and that's all smart contracts, decentralized, a decentralized smart contract, peer-to-peer betting. And I really think that's what's going to make Mobile Go's tokens stand out. The fact that you can do some kind of League of Legends, decentralized, tournaments, or one-on-one, I bet I could beat you in this game. No, you can't. $5 or 5 Mobile Go tokens says I can. Stuff like that. So the Mobile Go tokens, using both the Ethereum and the Waves platform, actually make it possible for you to use smart contracts in the game credits mobile gaming platform.
So you could duel somebody and put your gaming credits, what's it called, the Mobile Go tokens up there as a way to duel each other and win that prize.
Yeah, exactly. So the game credits is going to be. Yeah, game credits is the cryptocurrency that they're going to use. That's the main cryptocurrency, game credits. But the incentivization tokens on top of all that will be the Mobile Go tokens.
So do you plan? Are you good at any games? Do you plan on kicking some ass and challenging people for those tokens?
I play for fun, but I was really good at Flappy Bird. So if they made a Flappy Bird that paid after every tunnel or something, I'm in. Let's do it.
Do they have any poker? Do they have poker for that? I'm down for some poker.
They have over. I didn't get to look at the actual list. I don't know if that was available. I got in, like I said, the ICO last minute and really got my thought in there after I saw the $40 million market cap that they were hitting. But they have over 1,000 games and over 150 developers already on board.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, Ozzy, just to let you know, you can play poker with all the coins that you own now. Litecoin. You could do sports betting.
Yeah, I made a video on
right
that.
now with all the Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
I know, but I think they don't let you in the United States. There's only certain states they allow: New Jersey, Nevada, and the rest are they tell you can't. Or the websites that I went to, but I'm not really interested in gambling online. But I just researched it.
I was going to say,
I used to play poker professionally a long time ago, but I stopped. I actually cashed in deep in the World Series of Poker twice.
Oh, I played poker once, and no, it was blackjack, and I won. It was on my video for the gambling website that I was talking about. I think it's sportsbet.io, and I did a video on it. And in the video, I was actually surprised, oh, they have blackjack. So I clicked on blackjack, and I was like, let's play a hand. Click play a hand, and instantly tripled my money. And it was I was like, all right, I'm leaving. We're done. Have a good day.
And Kenneth, was that one of the videos that you did? I think you did a demo on one of those gambling sites.
Yeah, that was the one. It was so funny because I didn't expect it. It was right in the take too. I was expecting to lose the money. I was just like, oh, here, this is how you play. And then it tripled up, and I was like, all right, cash out. And I don't think I ever put money back in it. I don't gamble, but people were asking me, how do I gamble with Bitcoin? And I was like, well, here you go.
I think they knew you were doing a commercial for them.
Well, here's the real big tip for you. You use Coinbase, right, bro? So if you gamble on any Bitcoin website, any Bitcoin gambling platform, never, ever, ever send your winnings to Coinbase. They will lock your account, freeze your assets, and you'll be beat.
Wow, that is good to know.
Yes, I got an email. I got an email twice. Actually, oh shit. I don't know if you do curse on this. So anyway, if you send your Genesis mining or any mining payout, I'm pretty sure even from your own house, if you send mining payouts to Coinbase, they will eventually freeze your assets as well.
Actually, hold on. Let me tell you a story real quick. So I get they freeze my account. I get an email from them. They want to ask me some questions. So I log in to their thing, and they have 10 questions. And one of them was, where are the Litecoins coming from? And I told them I mine. I have a little farm in my house, and I make about 4 to 5 coins a day, and I send them directly to that wallet. And within 24 hours, they had my account reopen again.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah. They
Yeah.
emailed me and said to cease Genesis payouts.
Because Genesis is a fucking scam.
I mean, it is and isn't, I guess. I mean, it's so funny because everybody says it is, and people I deem credible say it is, but so far so good for me, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I just, you know what? I don't mind that people do it. The only problem I have with it is when people when they put it on their videos and have people sign up to it. I mean, you're putting people at risk on like where's their pool? How come their pool? We can't find their pool. You know, I mean, I made a whole video about them yesterday. You know, show us. I mean, according to the sign up you guys have, you should have fucking 10 Costco-sized buildings for miners. Where are they? What pool do you use? Why don't you have your own pool? You're obviously at the size you are. You'd have to be not using a pool. You know, so this is the problems I have with Genesis. But as far as Coinbase, I think as long as you're honest with them and straightforward, and anyway, you should have separate wallets for separate shit. If you're you know, if you're gonna go buy weed on the deep web, you don't use your Coinbase. If you're gonna, you know, you have separate wallets for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Be smart. I mean, if you're already using smart money, which I consider cryptocurrency smart money, you should be smart about it.
Yeah, you know, I noticed that you did a video on that, and I remember I commented with you. You were doing an experiment, Kenneth, where you signed up and you wanted to compare, well, like, what would you make on mining versus what would you make on buying like a Bitcoin, and you had to cancel that experiment. Could you tell us the reason why you canceled that experiment on Genesis mining?
Oh, wow. Well, the referrals were ridiculous. You know, from my channel, I didn't push the experiment. I did the video once a month or something. I never posted it really on my Facebook or Twitter or anything. But I didn't say everybody should do this. I was like, this is how you join and this is how it works. But yeah, the referrals kind of broke my experiment. I made way too much money in referrals to keep track of the payouts. So yeah, it seemed to be more of a referral program than a mining program. But since I stopped doing the experiment and stopped receiving nobody's been really using my code. I think Trevon may have used it once. I don't know. Somebody might have used it, but I'm still getting some Bitcoin here and there. And I don't know. I don't want to say it wasn't worth it, but I still feel like I'll still get my original investment back.
Right.
I want my contract to be terminated. Like, I would love to have my contract terminated tomorrow, so I could cover how, like, oh shit, Genesis mining is a scam. I put 0.1 Bitcoin into it and they terminated it after 6 months. But then I can't.
From what I last saw, your calculations, you pretty much figured that you're gonna get your Bitcoin back.
Yeah, 10 months.
Did you do? Did you determine in monetary value, like US dollar value, or did you determine in Bitcoin value?
Yeah, I never looked at the USD value. I almost never do today. So I was just looking for the original amount of Bitcoin I put in, and that was like 0.1 or 0.104 or something. And with the math I had at the time in my last video, was like last month, I was still getting, even without the referrals, I was still getting 0.01 Bitcoin a month. So after 10 months, I would get my 0.1 Bitcoin back, and then it was like a lifetime contract. So anything after 10 months would be profitable. But they are starting to get smaller in Bitcoin increment sizes to the point where I could see probably getting half of what I was getting about next month.
Okay. So at the time, it seemed like you were going to get your Bitcoin back, but as time progressed, obviously the hashing, quote unquote, the hashing power went up, so you're getting less and less. So I mean, I think they do mine because they have videos where they show mining rigs, but I do have to admit the program seems to be heavily a referral based program from what I can tell.
Can I make a comment? The pictures they show, I even mentioned that in my video. The pictures they show is like a grocery store sized, like a half of a supermarket sized building with I would say about 2,000 miners. That covers the first day of people signing up. What about the last year of people signing up? What are you doing with them? What are you doing with that hashing power? Where are you getting the hashing power from for them? You know, I like him. You know why his is getting smaller and smaller? Because the more people that come in, the more people they have to split what they're mining.
I see what you're saying.
They're just taking that money to their pocket and they're just splitting it between more people. That's all they're doing. And that, and in our terms, that's called a Ponzi.
I thought that they had the contracts limited for that reason. So like they do sell out of contracts when there's not enough hash power available, and then when they do come into it, when contracts end or people terminate the contract or they have new mining rigs or whatever the case may be, then they add more hash power to these coins and it's available again. Or that, I guess that could just be like a hype. Like, oh, we're out of sale, and they're just sitting on it the next day. They're like, oh, guess what? We got back in stock. So maybe it's all just bullshit.
Well, I did research on two hypes, Gladia Coin and Wallet Plus. The day I made the one about Wallet Plus, their website was parked with GoDaddy the same fucking day, and then Facebook. I mean, the YouTube was just. What happened to my money? What's going on? Where is it? I'm like, it's gone. Sayonara. They're in Hawaii right now having Mai Tais and, laughing at people that put it in there because, I'm very against scams. And I just, because nothing's going to bring down cryptocurrency and its credibility more than scams. The drugs, the terrorism, all that shit is not going to affect cryptocurrency as much as scams are.
I heard your spiel on scams in one of James's earlier videos, and I wanted to talk to you about BitConnect. Have you looked into them?
No, I haven't. I've heard of them. What, you want to tell me a little bit about them?
I don't know much about BitConnect. All I know is it's basically like a referral program lending platform. So you can lend your Bitcoin there, but it's basically like, referral based, sort of like Genesis Mining is, like heavily referral based.
If I was going to lend my Bitcoin, I would rather do it on an exchange where at least somebody, they have Bitcoin to give me if somebody fucks me over. Where
Yep.
BitConnect, what's the insurance? You can't reverse a Bitcoin transaction.
Well, I think you're actually using you're using their own currency too. So like if you want to lend Bitcoin, what you do is you buy their in-house cryptocurrency and then you lend out that in-house cryptocurrency that you in return get back in your percentage and profits, and then you buy back the Bitcoin with that. I don't know. From what I understand, it sounds like.
What happens if Bitcoin went up in the meantime? I lost.
Well, that's any loaning though or lending platform.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, I'm very strict, very strict. Actually, James Bond might be the only guy that's stricter on scams. Really, James is. I mean, he's got his views and opinions, and I respect that a lot. And he's more outspoken than me regarding scams and stuff like that. But I don't believe anybody should mess with a dime, not a Bitcoin, a dime, if there's any risk of a scam anywhere near or around it.
Well, thank you, Ozzy. I'm not that strict. I just have this simple policy: if it's not 5 years old, don't even look at it. And that's why I don't do any ICOs either or any new altcoins, because I believe the first 3 years, that's where most of the probably scams and Ponzi's, pumps and dumps happen. But let's shift our focus a little bit on ICOs, because there's a lot of talk about all this ICO, and I know that we mentioned Ethereum having a platform, Waves has a platform, even Counterparty has a platform, and there's other blockchains that kind of modeled this thing that Ethereum is doing. Is they have a blockchain, and then developers can come to this blockchain and develop a token and then crowdfund it. How much do you all think that it is really worth doing, this whole tokenizing or ICO, versus this is just another pump and dump? Because a lot of people are talking about this.
I don't think it's worth doing. It was a cardinal rule of mine to not invest in an ICO. I just got so caught up in that white paper, the pretty website, and the excitement of Game Credit's coin going from like 10 cents to $3 during their ICO. But I mean, if you don't have cryptocurrencies or other investments that you already can fall back on, getting into an ICO isn't the first thing you should do. And like you said, you have a rule where you don't invest in something that isn't over 3 years old or 5 years old. I have a rule, and it sucks because there's so much money I could have made this year. But my rule is I don't want to buy a coin and hold it if it doesn't have its own individual wallet. Like if the developers haven't built a wallet for Android and iOS, and they're like still depending on Jax or somebody to hold it for them. It's like, are the developers really even trying?
My whole theory on ICOs is right now the timing is horrible for the huge influx of ICOs. I think it's going to hurt the overall market cap and dominance of the real deals. And right now, all the new money you're going to see, because with cryptocurrency right now, how it's being portrayed is double your money, 10 times your money, 20 times your money. And you cannot do that anywhere else but an ICO. So all the new money that's going to come in right now, you're going to see a huge part of that going into ICOs. They're going to get burned, and they're never going to get into cryptocurrency ever again in their fucking life. So I think it's going to hurt. I love seeing new things. I love innovation. But 500 ICOs right now, there's like 500 of them they're being talked about. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Even the stock market, there isn't 500. You get like one IPO, like maybe every couple of weeks or something. So I think they. I hate to say this fucking word, but there needs to be some sort of regulation on ICOs.
I agree.
You know, there's got to be something where we're like, you know, put on the brakes. Like, hold on, you got to go through a certain thing before you can just like. I can just ICO out of my garage right now.
Well, that's the point of crypto, isn't it? To give you the power to be a business without asking for anybody's fucking permission. Like, yes, you can do an ICO, bro. And if I back that, that's up to me. Like, so I'm with you and against you in the fact that, you know, people need to do due diligence. But I think that's what cryptocurrency is all about. The fact that you can go start an ICO, and that's because like you don't need no one's permission. You don't need any corporate license. You don't need none of that shit. We do need regulation, but I think it's regulation in the sense of information. Like white paper has to be like, you know, go through a smart contract or whatever, and we have to vote as a community that's legit, and then you can start getting money, something like that.
Yeah. I don't mean like an SEC type regulation.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is the whole fucking point. And actually, I think if I was to start an ICO, I'd fucking do a pretty good one. But it's just there's too many at one time, and right now, cryptocurrency is where emails and internet was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
but nobody stopped using email because the Nigerian prince stole $20,000 from you, and like that's where we're at with the scams.
Exactly.
I think the scams are going to get the Fox News to talk about it. Bad publicity, good publicity. People are going to Google it, and their first time hearing about crypto is that it's a scam, and they're going to be on their toes. And I think that's a good way to go into it. Go into it as everything's a scam rather than nothing's a scam.
Well, this is where I think our job comes in. Like earlier when I told you should make videos about that certain aspect, this is where we come in. We need to break it down more. We need to make more videos about what's going on in the news, what's new, what new ICOs are out, what they're all about. Like I have a video where I talk about if a new business is going to open down the street, let's say a new whatever. What makes this new business better? If he's just opening just to open, I won't even go in there. He's got to be different, better. So I try to compare everything to Bitcoin. What's better? Like Ethereum. Ethereum has the smart contracts. Okay, great. Let's break it down for everyone. What is a smart contract?
But you don't have to be better if you're different, man. Like Bitcoin's money, but other cryptocurrencies are going to serve other purposes. Bitcoin's blockchain is designed for transfer of value. Ethereum's blockchain is designed for transfer of truth.
I agree. And Namecoin, you can get a .bit domain.
I love that. Yeah, but that's exactly.
I'm in heavy in Namecoin.
But you can't compare Namecoin to Bitcoin at all. They're not even the same thing.
They're actually identical twins. But
their blockchain has a different purpose.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, there has to be something different about them. There has to be, because there's already a lot of exactly the same as Bitcoin. There's already a lot of Me Too's of that. So they need to give out, like you said, a white paper, more. They need to be more out there, more information. There has to be a process. 500 ICOs right now flood the market. I see a downtrend for all the real coins out there.
Well, here's my take on this whole ICO. It's flooding the market. The good part is that it's definitely getting a lot of people into the quote unquote cryptocurrency space. It's more, but it's nothing more than a token sale, really, or an IOU, perhaps, maybe. But what I've noticed is it does create innovation because people are developing, quote unquote. I think the money is just too easy for people not to do it because before to crowdfund. I mean, there's crowdfunding right now, but it's never been so much easier by using a token in exchange for another token, something that's usually worth more money. And so you can actually market your coin to the world instead of just to Europeans or Asians or Americans. So I was talking with this about Kenneth. You put in $100 and the GoPro raised what 50 million.
It's
And
Mobile
so
Go. You keep calling
mobile
it GoPro.
go is it what is it?
Mobile
Mobile
Go.
Go. Okay, Mobile Go. Sorry, and basically if you average that, let's say you're the typical person, maybe put in $100, right?
Mhm.
That's only 5,000 people, I think. Is that right? If my calculations right? So I mean,
feel
could
like
you
you just added
imagine?
zero to
You
that.
could market this to the whole world and you could raise a lot of money. And I think there's an incentive for people to do these ICOs, which is good because it'll allow them to do stuff, maybe experiment, maybe even, get some prostitutes and some blow and whatever they'll do some crazy stuff. But maybe out of all these ICOs that come out, it's my personal belief, the more time goes on and the more coins and ICOs come in, a lot of money is going to be put in, but only really less than 1% is really going to survive because they'll actually make something that is probably very unique, useful, and worthwhile doing. So that's the down part of it, and that's the scary part because a lot of people are putting money into these ICOs, and again, it's only $100, but you times that against maybe 1% of the population of the world. That could be 100,000 people. You could potentially have $1 billion fundraising platform.
Oh yeah, Facebook came and took MySpace right out. No, I agreed. I think innovation is very, very important, but I just wish we had a better way to how should I say, like a due diligence where they're forced to show everything.
But you can't force people to look into things before they put
No.
money at it.
Yeah, you're right.
The homeless guy asking for $1 is probably going to go buy a bag of dope. You don't follow him to Subway to make sure he bought a footlong. And that's up to the person who just gave away their money to do that due diligence. So again, I think we need to wean out the suckers. I think Darwinism needs to take full effect in crypto, and we need to fucking get rid of all these stupid people who think they know what they're doing with smart money.
Man,
get the fuck out of the blockchain, get all out, get away, back up, go back to what you were doing before this, and let this develop more. The dumb people that are throwing money in here are going to make it bad for everybody. They don't know what they're doing. They're just throwing money at it. And that's because their geeky nephew that knows how to make apps, invested in an ICO called Ethereum, and now he's a millionaire. And they think they can do it. So I think Darwin needs to take effect. We get them out of here, and then we can progress naturally again.
But Kenneth, you're forgetting, man. There's a stupid person born every day. It's
every second, bro. You're too nice of a guy.
I'm sorry. You're right. Every millisecond, there's a dumb person that's born every day into this world and grows up dumb until. I mean, here's the thing: is how many people have to lose their money before somebody says this is enough? I mean, is it worth a lot of people? I mean, maybe it's not. It's not a big deal because it's only $100, right? And if everybody does this, maybe we could have a Ponzi economy where, the people who are benefiting might actually do something with that money, but probably won't. Probably will get a lot of hookers, a lot of blow, and probably waste that money on cars and then file bankruptcy.
That's the same thing Wall Street's doing today, though. So it's nothing different. When you have money that's that big, that's just what people do with it.
Yeah, but Wall Street has supposedly regulations.
Yeah, and look how much we love those Wall Street regulations. Just because they use the word regulation doesn't mean it's going to be great for everyone.
So do you all think it's good or bad? I mean, how do you feel? I mean, in some ways, I think it's good. Okay, go ahead, Kenneth.
I don't know, man. Like, I was gonna say, I think it's good and bad. Like, there's going to be good from it, but that's like for anything. Like I love how Andrea says like the first people to use a technology and adopt it are criminals. You know, the first person to use fire probably did it to burn someone's house down, or you know, the first person that had a car did it to get a getaway from a bank faster than the guy on the horse. And you know, that's what's happening right now. I think that with these ICOs, yeah, people are going to be like, oh, I can make easy money, but their digital reputation, putting their name on that ICO, that's it. One bad ICO and they're done. They're gone. Yeah, you made some money, but now you're a nobody for the rest of your life because your digital reputation is burnt, and that's everything in this digital era, and it's only getting more real. So we're going to eventually wean out those assholes, and those assholes are going to wean out the dummies, and we're going to eventually just have a pure ecosystem that naturally like leveled out.
Andreas Antonopoulos is God's gift to cryptocurrency. That boy is just amazing speaker. He speaks from the heart. I love that guy. Number one. Number two, ICOs are like a double-edged sword. They're just there. You can't live with them and you can't live without them. You got to have innovation in order for it to stay alive. We got to have something new. And I see the way I see the blockchain, just the exact blockchain, and these are just inventions from the blockchain. Is going to go into banking. It's going to go into voting. It's going to go into housing. It's going to go into cars. It's going to go into everything. It keeps everything honest. I love the idea of it. And without ICOs and new things, we will never get there. So, and also, like he said, we need to filter out the assholes that are starting the scams. But the problem is, some of them we know are criminal pieces of shit, and they're still opening up new ICOs. So I can't remember a name right now, but there was a name of a guy who was part of a scam, went to jail, and he's starting an ICO right now. So you can't. And there's a sucker born every second, man. Every second there's one born. And I wish. I mean, I started my YouTube channel. It's called Ozzy the BS Filter. My whole purpose, I don't even put links. I don't put nothing. I don't want to make a dime from anyone. I just want to open up cryptocurrency to the world and teach them how to keep everybody honest, how to do the research. What's wrong with this? Filter out bullshit.
Yeah, good point, Ozzy. And you know, my feelings on this is it's bringing money into this space. Otherwise, they would have gone to some regular crowdfunding or some IPO. And unfortunately, yeah, people are going to get burned probably because this is all unregulated. Nobody has to deliver on anything that they say. People will make money and people will lose money. I'm hopeful that the money that comes in will eventually just kind of percolate its way up, probably to Bitcoin, because I think if you're going to get into this space, you probably want to stay with coins that are going to probably last. So any of these coins that are probably currently in the top 7 or top 10, I think those coins probably will last, considering I think there's almost 900, maybe even 900, 800 coins and ICO coins and tokens that are on the coin market cap. And like I said, the longer the time goes and the more coins that come on, I think it's going to be less than 1%. And right now we're looking at, if you look at it may be a little bit deceptive in the coin market cap, but at least the top 5 or 10 coins, those have probably a better chance of surviving than any other coins below them. And it's going to get ugly. I think it's going to have to get really ugly for anyone to step in regulating this before. So I think it's going to be a wild, wild west for a very long time.
Very long.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think the bubble bursting is going to be when all that you just mentioned starts to happen.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad we talked about the ICO. Hopefully, a lot of the audience will listen and think about what they're doing. Like, why are you buying this coin? If you're doing it to get rich, then hopefully you realize that if you lose your money, you lost your money, and hopefully you won't buy from the same developers or people. But here's the other thing: is you can these people who are scammers, they can just come in as an investor behind the scenes and just get another person to start another ICO for them. What do you think about that?
That would
Because that's what's being done now. Like you see a lot of companies now, you don't know who the investors are, but you know who the CEOs are and the public faces. But it could be the same scumbag that, bankrupt another company or 10 other companies.
See, the cool thing in crypto is we have a lot of nerds on our side. So I feel like people would follow wallets, follow deposits. They would follow some shit. I mean, we have some hardcore nerds over here. So like, I just feel like if that were the case, somebody would find out something. I mean, I feel like if there's going to be a whistleblower in anything, it's going to be in this space. Somebody in the development team will say something to their family like, don't invest in this. I'm working on it, but this is why you shouldn't. And it will get out there.
Well, in general, cryptocurrency guys are guys that are sick of inflation, of globalism, of deep state. I mean, so we got a lot of good people on our side, also nerds included. So I have to agree with Ken. We will have a lot of whistleblowing that will minimize. Will try to minimize the damage.
All right, let's take a look at some of the chat. And Richie Rich, Thomas Gutierrez,
hey guys,
how y'all doing? Brian McLaughlin. Richie Rich says we
What's
should.
up, boys?
He mentions Darwin coin. That should be a good coin to start. We start it up and we just scam as much people as we can.
We
and
have to put in
that doesn't get scammed. Well, his coins are the most valuable. Is that? I mean, is that how cryptocurrency is working right now these days?
A little bit. I feel like it. I mean, like the way people pitch cryptocurrencies, especially people just getting into it, is like, look at this chart. Look how good the chart looks. And it's not like when people get into stocks and they're like, look at this chart, and they go, well, what does the company do? You know what I mean? So nobody gets into crypto and goes, so what does that coin do? What makes it so worthwhile? Why is it growing in value? It's just, oh, wow, it's growing in value. So it is interesting that nobody comes into it with that mindset to look behind the scenes and just look at the chart, start throwing money at a chart. I hope that changes. I hope exchanges have white papers right next to the coin on the, where it's listed. So you can just click, read the white paper right on the exchange.
That's a good point, Kev. And, I recently did go to a meetup, and what I saw was a lot of very young people, like people probably college age or starting college. I don't even know if they have any Bitcoin, but they were more interested in putting their money into ICO. So do you think these are just foolish people in pursuit of some foolish endeavors, taking a chance? Or is there something more going on here?
Man, like you don't have to be dumb to do something dumb with your money. You can be smart and do dumb shit. People do it all the time. Look what happened to the guys who actually invented Facebook. They were smart as fuck. They did some dumb shit. They didn't have somebody sign a full disclosure. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're in college, just because you're smart, and just because you might have some money doesn't mean you're doing smart things with your money. And just because your friend's smart and he has a lot of money doesn't mean you should just follow him blindly.
He's talking about the Winklevoss twins. Very, very smart to point that out. You nailed it right on the head. You don't have to be the brightest to make a mistake. I don't know if I want to use the word foolish. I think ignorant. There's some ignorance. But some people are making a killing, man. I mean, some people are set for life. I don't know if they'll save it or if they'll know what to do with it after that. I don't know, but some people are making a killing.
Okay, good point, guys. We have a question in the chat, and it's from Brian McLaughlin.
Hey, Brian.
He says, "What do you guys think of Doge?" So, anybody want to go ahead on that?
Yeah, I'll throw something out there. Okay, so I used Poloniex the last time I used it, and anyway, they fucked me over, but I had a 0.001 Bitcoin left in the wallet. So I went and bought a bunch of Doji with it. And I mean bunch. Let me tell you why a bunch. Because they have like not something billion, in the billions. Their coins are in the billions.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the fuck that's ever gonna be worth anything. I mean, I can't. I mean, I gotta put fuck in parentheses because that's ridiculous. Billions. I mean, we got like Decred is 5 million. Decred, I think, is. I mean, this is a coin I'm studying right now, and it's looking good. 5 million, and it's at $20. You got Ether at 90 million. It's at $200. You got Litecoin at 52 million. It's at $25. It's in the billions.
But it's in the top 20, I think. I think
It
it's in
is,
the top
it
20
is.
market cap,
Well,
man.
of course, because if you're worth an ass hair at 19 trillion, you're going to be in the top 20. Being in the top 20 with when you got 95 trillion coins, if they're worth an ashtray each, they're going to build. I mean, there's just so much of it out there. But anyway, so I bought like 300 dojis with it, or 400, I can't remember. And they've doubled already. They've doubled already. But yeah, I mean, they're just there. I haven't even pulled them out. I don't even know what to do with them. I don't even know. I wouldn't even download a wallet for Doji. It's ridiculous.
I'd recommend Jack. I actually just downloaded Jax for my Chrome browser for Doge. I added it to my portfolio. It's I actually forgot it's on my Ledger Blue. They actually support Doge. So I was like, if it's on my hardware wallet, and Jax added it, and the reason I started adding it to my portfolio is I found out how cheap it is and how fast it is to send, and the community that uses it is the nerds of the nerds, the meme makers, the guys that are probably going to the dark web. They might be using Doge because of how cheap it is and how fast it is, and it's kind of like a coin no one pays attention to, so you can kind of do some stuff with it. So I added it to my portfolio because it is so vast and it's so branded. I mean, dude, Doge has more marketing brand behind it than Bitcoin and Dash combined. Like,
really,
everyone knows Doge has its own little emoji thing on Facebook. If you make a Facebook crypto page, like go to Facebook, create a page, name it whatever, and look for an icon, you can find a Doge cryptocurrency icon. There's no Bitcoin, there's no Litecoin, there's no Dash, but there's Doge. And Doge is everywhere. And like people that I know, like I say, hey, have you looked into Bitcoin yet? And they're like, yeah, what about Doge? And I'm like, have you like not even Ethereum? Like, how the hell did you find this? So I don't know, man. I think the meme coin Doge is actually getting some, attention because of that, because of like the people that use it and they keep it in the community. And wow. I don't remember who it was, but they were who was it? The Doge Millionaires Club or something they started, and it's like just buy 1 million Doge, and if it ever hits $1, like you're a millionaire.
If it hits $1, that means there's a $90 trillion market cap by itself.
Well, look how wait with the math. Look how big the total market cap has grown since the first of this year till now, and if you keep that math up, not too far off. Just saying.
Yeah, no.
So here's my take on Doge after listening to you guys. I actually lived through that whole thing. It's actually an internet phenomenon, right? It was started as a meme. It was a joke, and just to let everyone know, there is no cap on mining Dogecoin. You could just start mining Dogecoin to infinity. It will never, it never stops, and so it'll go forever. So you could even mine Dogecoin and become a Dogenaire that way. I don't know if anyone knows this, but the two people that started the Dogecoin actually left the community, and they left because they said it was toxic. So, I mean, there's some history there. I don't know if anyone even bothers to go look into the history of it. But not only that, there was a guy named Ryan Kennedy or Ryan Green who was a part of that community, and he's the one that sponsored the NASCAR. He did a lot of stuff. He also bought out MintPal. Does anybody remember MintPal?
No.
Okay, well he was a very shaded guy. He had a lot of companies with one of them was Moolah Ltd. I think he was a UK. Anyways, he changed his name. He was turns out he was known for being a scammer, and he had to change his name. His name, I think his real name was Ryan Kennedy. Then he changed it to Ryan Green. He dyed his hair like orange and stuff. It was so weird. And the two creators who created Dogecoin, were talking to them, and they didn't believe that he had the Dogecoin, and they were requesting to do an audit. He refused to do the audit. Eventually, what happened? MintPal was hacked. He took over MintPal, and eventually MintPal collapsed as an exchange. The last I've heard from Ryan Kennedy was he was arrested for rape,
Oh
and I
shit.
haven't heard ever since. But the whole coin itself just took off. It still has a life of its own, just because I think it was a popular meme, the Doge meme, and then it just took off from that, and from there the coin was created. So there it's a this coin is a unique internet phenomenon. It went viral. People don't know anything about it, and people are buying and trading it like crazy. It's craziness, and that's my take on Dogecoin. So people who are into it, have fun. If you make money, I mean, it's all it's good for is just trading to make money. I don't see how it could last because it has no cap. It goes to infinity, and they coded it that way. And I do remember that the community was considered a very friendly community because they did raise a lot of money for like Jamaican bobsled team. They did a lot of stuff. They did a lot of fundraising. But what really killed them was I believe Ryan Kennedy. He when he joined that community, he just brought a lot of scams into it, and people a lot of toxicity came out of that, and
The,
that's why I won't even touch it ever since. I mean, the two people who started the coin are not a part of it. They left. They just straight up left. They said this community is toxic.
And that touches on something that we talked about, where your digital reputation will follow you into a new endeavor, and that will eventually get you out of the ecosystem.
does anybody know what kind of algorithm it's on? Is it script?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like he said, no one knows. We just buy it.
Yeah, no one knows. People just buy it. Doge. Okay, hey.
But that's the point. That's why I buy it. That's why it's in my portfolio now. It's a meme, and I know memes are powerful. And like I know people that are that are messaging me just because Dash has good marketing. Like, should I buy Dash? Oh my god, it's so up. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, do you have Bitcoin? No. Then you might want to buy that first. I don't know.
I mentioned it in my last show that we had here with Joshua. Popularity is number one, and then what it actually is comes next.
I think that's actually third. I think
Yeah.
the charts are next, and then what it does is third.
Right. Yeah, popularity is king. If you can get it out there and popular, that's number one.
But that's crazy, man. I mean, it's just craziness. Anyways, oh my God, we're almost coming out to an hour here, and so.
Hey, did you see my message I sent you? Do you see it on the right?
Hold on. Okay, let me see. Let's have a look here. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and mention. Ozzy has a giveaway. Go ahead and talk about that, Ozzy.
Okay, tomorrow at 6 p.m. On my channel, I'm gonna go live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm gonna give out some Litecoin, whole coins, not point or the whole coin. I was gonna give out one. I changed my mind to two, and I might even fucking make it three. I'm in a good mood. So what I'm gonna do is whoever's on live, I'm gonna have them pick a number for depending on how many people are in the chat, and I'll have a random number generator, and if I pick your number, you win a Litecoin. I'll send it to you live. So please, and that's in celebration of having my 100 subscribers. If I get to 120 from here to the show, or 115, I'll make up 3 Litecoin. Fuck it. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Just for James Bond and Ken, I'm gonna make up 3 Litecoins tomorrow. So 3 people will win 1 Litecoin each. Okay, boys, girls.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's actually really generous of you, dude.
Thank you.
And over 100 subscribers too. So congrats.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, and I did it in 10 days, so I think that's cool. Yeah, thank you so much for that, James.
Okay, you're welcome. And so, all right, so we're getting to almost to the end of the show, and so I wanted to ask Ozzy about his, and this is I'm talking about this because I think it's a good story about how you still are you still looking for Bitcoins? Can you tell us the story so far? How's it going? What's
Okay.
happening?
Well, Coinbase this morning raised my my limit, so I bought 1.25. I bought 0.9 on them, and I bought 0.3 on Bread. Bread allows you to buy on their thing now, Bread wallet. So I bought those, and then I went to an ATM to buy, and the price is ridiculous.
I mean, was that guy selling? Was he really selling, or was he not selling?
No, he told me he hasn't sold anything because he can't afford to until the price goes back up. He had to. He ran out of coin as he was as the uptrend was going, and he had to go on an exchange and buy some, and he bought them at the 26 something, and he's stuck. So until then, he's not going to be selling nothing. He told me he can't.
Okay.
He won't. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I couldn't buy. So I have a little bit of extra money I can buy on Coinbase, and I was actually going to hit you up to go see your place in Anaheim. But yeah, I'm only going to buy a few more, probably like 3 more.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. At least you're still buying, because one of the things I noticed, like, people have paralysis by analysis is what I call it. Like, they see the price go up and they're too afraid to buy because they're worried about buying at the top, and then when the price goes down, they have the complete opposite effect. It's such a weird thing. They're afraid the price is going to go down further, and they don't buy.
Well,
and so they get in this situation where they just, like, they go back and forth.
Well,
and
here,
it's very interesting.
As you recall, when it hit 2,500, when it dropped to 2,500, I contacted you and I said, man, there's a huge arbitrage. It's like $400 between Coinbase and the rest of the exchanges. It was huge. So that tells me that it's going to keep going down. And that's why I didn't buy. I almost did, but I was like, you know what? I have a feeling it's going to drop. And it dropped. And it dropped to 19 on Coinbase, and Coinbase wouldn't let me buy nothing. Every time I try to make an order, it would give me an error, 404.
Same here.
Right.
They would not. They were not letting nobody buy. So
they weren't letting me withdraw for a while. It just kept crashing. I couldn't get my Bitcoin off of Coinbase for like 4 or 5 days. It just wouldn't move.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm definitely gonna buy. But here's something that I'm thinking about. Tone Vase made a video today, and he's worried about a fork, and all the bad publicity that's going around with Youssef and the BIP 148 and the hard fork, soft fork. And I have a feeling when that time comes where they really gotta fucking do something, it might affect the price a little bit. So I think, because like by the end of this week, guaranteed I'm gonna have 15 Bitcoin. I don't give a fuck. I'm buying to 15. But if the price hits 3 G's, I might sell like 7 or 8 and leave the profit at coin. Only because if it hard forks and it drops, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. I would rather take what I invested in, because if I get to 15, I sell half, all that coin will be profit. It'll be free. So I don't mind writing that out as much as if a hard fork happens, is split in 2, man, I'm going to be heartbroken.
I feel the opposite. I'm actually holding my coin on my hardware wallet so I don't get tempted to spend it if it hits 3,000.
It's harder, huh?
It's hard because I saw it hit 2,800. I was like, well, I know it's going to come down. Like it's definitely going to come down. You know what? But I don't want to mess with that.
Me and my wife twice were like, man, that's almost $28,000, Osmi. You know, that's $16,000 profit for me, because I'm in it at 12,000 for those 10. So I was really like, I mean, that's a big profit for 2 months, man, 3 months. So, but I fought the urge and I kept the coin, and I'm gonna add some more.
Maybe I'm wrong for this, because like you came into this with money. I came into Bitcoin and trading with paycheck to paycheck and borrowing money from friends to buy weed. Like I didn't even have money for that. And now I'm all right. Like I bought a decent amount of cryptocurrencies at decent prices, and I'm up a lot. Like I don't have no US dollar anything reserve. I have zero US dollar though. I didn't sell anything.
I gotta congratulate Minion. Good job, brother. I love to see that smart playing. I love to see that. That's badass.
But see, is it smart though? Because you're talking about selling some so you have US dollar, and I'm sitting here like, well, I would never want US dollar at all.
Well, no, I agree with you. The dollar is shit. but I make money with dollar. I own a finance company. My finance company needs dollars to loan out.
Oh,
So
so okay, so you're just getting more supplies. I can dig it.
oh yeah. I own 6 different companies, so dollar is very important to me.
Got it.
At some point, I hope to sell my businesses off if my kids all want to, go to college and be something else, and they don't want the businesses. I'm gonna sell them off sooner or later. I prefer my companies, my kids take it over. But if they want to be lawyers and doctors, I'm not gonna stop them. But if my boy says, you know what, Dad, I'm sorry, I don't want the company, I'm gonna sell it. And then I will absolutely not leave any dollars. To me, dollar is bullshit.
Are
But
you long on Bitcoin, or are you just short? Like, you just
I'm
trading it, or are you
no,
keeping your eye on it? You think Bitcoin's 100 years from now going to be worth millions?
the 10 I bought, I swore that I'm gonna give to my kids' grandkids.
Okay. So you
That's
do see a future in this. I
yeah,
was just
yes,
wondering.
yes. And I expect to expand. But I'm thinking to also use it to trade also. I can do both. You know what I'm saying? Because the rises are huge, man. It rose
Yeah.
$400-500 in 3 days.
I know, man. I never traded on any original stock
You
exchange
know,
ever, and I didn't do too bad on Poloniex.
I made $1,000 on Ethereum. Like I showed you earlier, I made like $700-800 in no time.
Right.
So I'm thinking, like, you know what? Why don't I just do some trades as I hold?
Mhm.
What's wrong with that? But I will. But if I do decide to sell some, I will not go below 8. I will keep 8 because those are going to be free. Number one. Number two, I believe Bitcoin. If these fuckers Veer and Woo and Dickhead can leave us the fuck alone and let the consensus make the decisions, I believe within 50 years, Bitcoin is an international government to government, corporation to corporation currency to reach a possible $1 million, because there's only going to be 21 million. That's it.
That's what excites the hell out of me.
That gives me a hard on.
I got 5 out of 21 right here.
All right,
I
guys,
wish you
that's
do,
good.
brother.
Well, then let me say something before we all end this episode. As far as the arbitrage, the reason why you're seeing such a big difference in price is because Bitsy. I know you have an account at Bitsy, Ozzy, and right now Bitfinex. I don't think you can send any money to them to buy the coins. That's why they're probably lower right now. It had an opposite effect. They couldn't send money out, so people were buying up the Bitcoins, driving up the price, and then Bitstamp was lower, and probably Coinbase, because those are the places where people could send them to withdraw cash. Now you're seeing the opposite effect, where people like probably Coinbase, Bitstamp are higher. All the exchanges where you can load your fiat currency to buy Bitcoin, those are all higher, and
Yep.
and the exchanges that like Poloniex is lower, probably
BTC.
Bittrex,
And they use
Bitsy.
USDT too, and that has a
Yeah.
lower value at the moment than
Yeah.
USD.
Well, the tether is over. Last time I saw it, it was over $1. So that means
What?
it's yeah.
Slightly,
So
yeah,
people are
slightly.
buying into the
That was
dollar.
at like 80
You know,
something cents not too long ago. USDT was
yeah.
like
It was
going
it was
down.
inverted.
This is
So
that's
this
what
is all
Wow.
strange. And as far as the hard forking, um, it depends on your situation. But I'm planning to keep my coins, because if it does fork, I don't think it will. But if it does fork, you'll get 2 coins. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a battle in where the powers be, the economic majority, the users, and Jian Wu and Roger Ver, they're going to battle it out on which coin. Now I think the users has a huge advantage because there's strength in numbers, and I think the users want SegWit. Now Jihan Wu and Roger Ver, they want something else. They want larger blocks. But I don't know if those two guys, even if they had a lot of money, I don't think they can handle the rest of the world and the money they have. So it's going to be interesting. What you can do if the coin splits is just wait it out, and then whoever just see where the prices go between the 2 coins. Matter of fact, Bitfinex has 2 prices on it right now, futures coins on it, and I think it's like $100. So I really doubt. Let me check here real quick.
You can always refer back to Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point too. We should have
and then you just sell out the coins that you don't want. I mean,
right.
if something goes up, just dump it. Yeah, right now it's
or you can short them for each other. That was fun.
Yeah, you could short them.
Dude, shorting Ethereum and Ethereum Classic is great.
I made a whole video about shorting. I truly believe that there was some naked shorting going on in this last drop. I truly believe, and I don't know if you know what naked shorting is. Naked shorting in the stock market is when you sell shares that you do not own to the public, like as a market maker or an exchange. And I believe there was some cahooting going on in cahoots with a couple exchanges because they had so much Bitcoin to play with in case anybody wanted to withdraw. They were selling shit that didn't belong to them. And when they got caught, they had to drop the price because if they drop the price, the rest chase them. The rest continue and people will get scared and sell. It's just me thinking out loud. That's
well, not even all that. I mean, Poloniex just has to take their servers offline for 1 second, and all those stop losses trigger, and they're fucking rich because they had the buys set right down there at the bottom. Like that's how I felt when I got burnt by Poloniex this last month on around April 20th. I saw that with Ripple. I was shorting Ripple all the way up, man. It was all the way up. I was at 7 cents. I about to hit my sell order at 7 cents. Sell that, and they just 404, not there anymore. And I think I had a stop loss set because I didn't want to lose too much. And, it plummeted down to like 3 cents. And by the time their site came back online, I think I sold it like 4 cents, but it was already back up to 6. So whatever. That's what Poloniex does, though. Yeah. They'll see that their customers have $1 billion or whatever, a lot of money just sitting at stop losses because they can see what you set. And they go, well, let's just unplug the servers for a minute and all those will trigger.
Wow. I got screwed by Poloniex the other day. And it was with Ripple. I was watching it very carefully, so I decided to buy. I held it for 5 minutes and I sold. And as soon as I pushed the sell, they blamed it on a DDoS attack.
Same thing happened here, bro. Same thing, man.
I couldn't sell. The chat stopped working, everything. And then when they went back online and I went to go sell, it was already back to where I bought it from. I ended up losing like $50. It was fucked up, man, because I planned it perfect. I don't trade that often.
Right, you can do all your homework and they just do that and
exactly. I did my homework. I mean, I had it fucking like.
Dude, I'm with you, man. You know how much coin I sold? I was holding Golem at 5 cents. I was holding game credits at 30 cents. I was holding so many coins on Poloniex, but when they did that to me, I sold them all. I pulled out my Bitcoin, and if you look at all these coins that I was holding, dude, I'd be rich. I'm so mad.
I'm done with Poloniex, man. I made a video fucking shitting on them. Tell them go spend some money on some real equipment. Go. You're making tons of money. Go get some.
Oh shit! I saw that video. I didn't even realize that was you till I did see that video.
What the fuck is wrong with them? What the fuck? You're making all the
go so much money though.
Go invest. Go upgrade your shit, man. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? My God, I own an insurance offices and I upgrade the computers every year.
All right, we're coming up to the final hour here. I got a final question for you guys. Both of you can answer. I'll answer mine last, but we'll let Kenneth go first. Okay, so what coin do you think is going to be a good pick for this week, and what price do you see that particular coin being? And here's your chance to pitch a coin that you like.
Oh man, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna crucify me. Ripple. I like Ripple. If it goes back under 20 cents, I'm buying some, and I'm gonna hold it till it goes over 30 because I see that happening pretty shortly again. People like to trade Ripple. When people are trading it. It's been the third highest market cap, and the volume has been really high. And it likes to fight for the second now. I think its record was like 14 billion or something like that. It was high. There's a chunk of money in Ripple. I'm waiting for it to come back.
I have a theory on Ripple and why it's being used. Ripple originally is a settlement layer, a payment layer, and when I first saw it, it was on Bitstamp, and people use it to basically send money to Bitstamp to fund their account. And now that you see Bitfinex and having their withdrawal and funding issues, I noticed that they picked up Ripple too. So I do think people are using Ripple as a payment method to fund the accounts, and I think that's why you're seeing the big buy up, because it seemed to happen during the same time that Bitfinex had a lot of withdrawal, like Wire. Same thing with China; they couldn't withdraw, and that seemed to pick up a lot on. And Stellar took off. I don't even know why, because there's no use for Stellar. But Ripple, I think you can get money from Ripple from Ripple Labs, because I think Roger Ver used Ripple to withdraw cash, and Ripple Labs were fined for not reporting that.
Oh, wow.
They were fined like $500,000. So they're technically a money service business. So that's why I think Ripple is being used, because with wire withdrawals and wire funding to these different exchanges are having the issues, the tether issue basically, and Stellar is basically the same co-founder who started Ripple also started Stellar, and I don't know why Stellar is taken off. I guess people just kind of jump on the bandwagons. They associate Ripple with Stellar.
It's the cheapest coin on the USDT. That's why. It's the cheapest coin right now, and people want quantity. That's the only reason I would assume. But I here's something I'd like to add to Ripple. I like Ripple because they're suable. You can sue them. A bank, all the banks involved will sue these motherfuckers if they fuck up. So I like Ripple because they're suable. I know the guy. They're going to arrest his ass if he tries to pull some shit. And if I know who's going to take my money and run. I know who Satoshi is when it comes to Ripple, and I know who Satoshi is when it comes to Litecoin and Dash. We know who all these people are. So some of these coins that I know who's involved and who like owned and operates and stuff, like Ripple, like I like that. So there's that to add to it.
Ozzy, your turn. What coin? Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I want to add something on the Ripple part. Ripple is a really fun coin to trade. Just as a day trader, it's really fun. It's fun. There's a lot of action, no slow. I mean, it's always going. Anyway, my pick now. You said for the week, so now this is not for long. This is strictly for a week, and I'm gonna go with Ethereum. I like Ethereum for a short trade right now. I don't know. I would not call it as a long yet. I'm not ready. It's no Bitcoin and it's no Litecoin, but I think Ethereum in the next 5-6 days, you're going to see a nice pump to make some quick money. But for the long term, I still got a lot to learn about Ethereum.
Yeah, I was just going to school you on a little bit of Ethereum, man. Ethereum, you said Ethereum's no Bitcoin or it's no Litecoin, and it's not trying to be, it doesn't want to be, and it's never going to be. Ethereum, and why Ethereum's over $150, almost $200 right now, is they have about 7 to 9 different tokens being built on their platform that are bringing value to it. So you don't have 7 different token platforms bringing Bitcoin value or Litecoin value. Ethereum has a ton of projects bringing their network a lot of value. So that's my take on that.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. But also, see, if you're not getting more people into the cryptocurrency world, adding more coins is going to devalue everything else. So luckily, we're getting a lot of people in. As long as Ethereum can stay stable, but and we're, like I said, I'm still learning it. I'm not against it yet. I own it. I even proved it to you. And I bought when it was over 100. I didn't buy when it was. I mean,
I'm still buying.
Yeah. So I like Ethereum for the next 7 days. That's for sure. But as time goes by and I learn more, I will talk about that the more. But
I'd love to shoot the shit on you after you get your teeth into Ethereum, man, because it's a whole different rabbit hole, man. Like you got into Bitcoin and Litecoin. I can't wait for you to get into smart contract rabbit hole, because like that right there is like a whole different hour conversation.
Yeah, and I think we should have a show just on the user activated soft fork, and just about that forking issue with Bitcoin. I think we should do a show on that. That's for sure. But it was a great hour, guys. I absolutely loved it. Ken, thank you so much for.
Oh yeah, dude. What is your pick? Let's see.
I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna spin the wheel of fortune here. So I'm gonna share my.
I have a black screen.
View here.
There we go.
Do you see my wheel of fortune?
There we go. Yeah. Keep switching, but it's there now.
There's my wheel of fortune. So I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm just gonna pick a random one, and that's the coin that everyone needs to buy.
How do you find shit like this?
Richie Rich knows I wanted to do this. This is from the Bats. They do this shit, you know.
You're a badass, James. You're
I
a
love
badass.
this. I'm in love right now.
What do you buy a wheel? I want a wheel. All right, here we go, man.
I'm gonna buy $100 worth of whatever the fuck that lands on.
I swear to God,
Right,
me too.
Everyone just buy this, okay? It'll go up this week. All right, here we go. Here we go. It says Dash. Okay, everyone buy Dash.
I'm gonna buy one Dash. It's a little over 100. I'll buy one Dash.
Hey, I have another pick. That was just the top 13 coins. I got one here for hold on. Let me see here. Oh, okay. I got one for the bottom 10 coins or the bottom 10 coins, okay?
Ooh, I see waves on there. Okay.
So all right. So here, everyone also buy this coin this whole week, all right? Because this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is how people pick coins anyway.
Yes,
so
for
here
sure.
we go.
This is perfect financial advice right here.
Yes, absolutely.
That's satire, by the way. That's not financial advice. Don't sue me.
You're serious? Saya coin. Everyone buy Saya coin this week.
now have a reason to buy SC. There you go.
Yeah, you didn't have a reason before. Now you do. The Wheel of Fortune told you to buy it. So thank you guys.
All right, thank you so much. I love being here.
Before you leave, Ken,
this was
tell us
awesome.
where we could find you, right? Or give us your Facebook and whatnot.
Everything's my name. So Kenn Bosak on Facebook, Kenn Bosak on YouTube, Kenn Bosak on Xbox. Add me. I'm Kenn Bosak everywhere. Just type in my name with 2 N's, KENN. Actually, shit, I just made a website. KENNBOSAK .com. So KennBosak.com.
All right, Ozzy, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm Azmi Alsanam, AZMIALSANAM on Facebook and Twitter, and on YouTube I'm Ozzy the BS Filter. And why don't you link us both, bro, on the bottom?
Yeah, you guys are linked for the YouTube channel. So I have links for Kenneth and his channel and Ozzy for his channel. So you can go and check those out. So, all right, this concludes this episode. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Day.
Thank you. Pleasure.